down, basically down to bottom. You could see we've been here, 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 here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 consecutives, right? The peaks and valleys, I mean, it's about the same. So something is holding Bitcoin back right now. It is definitely being held back for whatever reason. It could be the whales, right? It could be the big players that are still trying to accumulate, whatever it may be. But we did get that decoupling today, which is really weird. Generally speaking, we have seen Bitcoin track NASDAQ, and NASDAQ had a pretty good day today, right? So what is going on, right? What is going on with Bitcoin? Why is it not moving? Well, there's a couple things. There's a couple things that happened today that may have spooked some of the investors out there. All right, so let's start out with this. So Atlanta's Fed president actually said something I thought was pretty positive, but he suggested that the rate hikes after the next two, which is in June and July, which Fed Chair Powell already said is going to be 50 basis points for both of those FOMC meetings. I mean, basically both months, they're going to determine to raise rates by 50 basis points. So that's another percentage point on top of the 0.75 that we already had. That's not a surprise. But even this Fed said that, well, you know what, afterwards, there's no guarantee that we need to raise more rates, right? It could be, that's it. If we see inflation start coming down, which we did see last month in April, it went down versus March. If we continue to see inflation rate goes down, well, there's no reason why the Fed will continue to raise rates. That's actually pretty positive, right? So this came out today, but somehow, right around when this came out is when Bitcoin dipped. So this probably had something to do with it. Not quite sure yet if some of the traders are thinking that maybe if inflation is coming down, then you don't need to buy or hold inflation as a hedge against inflation. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But this did come out today, right? But, you know, other good things about the market. Here's NASDAQ, right? Looking at NASDAQ's previous drops from previous years, and you can see that pretty similar in terms of where it was before we started coming up in a big way. Obviously right now in 2022 has been a pretty devastating start to pretty much everything. You can see all the big boys, Tesla, Amazon down about almost 40%, Google, Amazon, Microsoft down 25%, and banks down, and every sector pretty much down, right? So does that mean we're at a bottom? We're close to finding a bottom, right? All this talk about recession maybe is not going to be as bad as people think, right? So if you add all this together, right, we're still trying to figure out where that bottom is. I would argue when it comes to Bitcoin, we have found that at 25K, but a lot of traders are still speculating where the market's going to go and how that's going to affect things. What is going to happen with the rates? Like some people are speculating already, right? What's going to happen later this year? So there's definitely still a lot of uncertainty out there. So that is why I think we saw Bitcoin unable to break through 30,600 today. We came back down to the previous level we were at before, and we'll probably go make the same stair step upwards, and then we'll see if we can break it again. But there's something going on right now that's kind of holding things back, right? But the important thing I want to focus on today is this, the fear level, okay? It's pretty obvious there's a lot of fear based on all the things I just said. But if you look at the fear index, it is down to extreme fear once again, to 12. Recently, we had a couple instances under 10. We had 8, 9 a couple times, 10, and then several times in the low teens, like 12 right now. And you can clearly see where we are right here. You can see this clump of fear. And I've always said that that clump of fear is good, because look at the previous clumps of fear, okay? Over here, even though it was not just like one big clump, but you could see a lot of red over here from the low 8s, 9s to low teens. Over here also clumps of fear. And over here we saw in 2021, although not as nearly as fearful as now, but we definitely have that clump of fear, okay? And why is this important? Well, because usually when you get that clump of fear, when it seems like all hope is lost, that's when we get a reversal. It always seems to happen, right? So this relates to the general